Before starting, put the auto-generated YouTube subtitles in French or your mother tongue to get everything, and slow down or speed up the pace as needed. If you don't have time to watch it, just listen this video as a podcast while doing something else. Now listen and learn English as exploring our world. February 20th, 2021. A day that began like any other at Denver International Airport. Travelers bustled through terminals. Among them were 231 passengers boarding United Airlines Flight 328, a Boeing 777 bound for Honolulu. Minutes after takeoff, the unthinkable occurred. A catastrophic engine failure ripped through the aircraft. Terror gripped the cabin as a deafening boom echoed through the plane, followed by violent shaking. The right engine, engulfed in flames, was disintegrating before their eyes. Debris, flung with terrifying force, rained down on neighborhoods below. Yet amidst the chaos, a story of remarkable courage and skill began to unfold. In the cockpit, the flight crew of United 328 faced an unimaginable crisis. Their training kicked in as they fought to control the crippled aircraft. Captain Tammie Jo Shults, one of the first female fighter pilots in the U.S. Navy, calmly issued a Mayday call. "Mayday, Mayday," her voice rang out, cutting through the static. "United 328, heavy. We've experienced an engine failure. Need to return immediately." As the plane limped back towards Denver, the lives of everyone on board hung precariously in the balance. The crew, working with extraordinary precision under unimaginable pressure, battled to bring their crippled aircraft and terrified passengers safely back to Earth. The air buzzed with a familiar electricity at Denver International Airport. Passengers armed with boarding passes and dreams of tropical getaways navigated the bustling terminal. Families, weighed down with strollers and excitement, weaved through the crowds. Business travelers, clutching briefcases and laptops, hurried towards their gates. Among them, the 231 souls destined for United Airlines Flight 328 joined the flow, their thoughts already drifting towards the warm embrace of Hawaii. As they presented their boarding passes and made their way down the jet bridge, the enormity of the metal bird that awaited them served as a reassuring symbol of human ingenuity and the promise of a safe journey. The Boeing 777, a marvel of modern engineering, stood poised at the gate, its sleek fuselage gleaming under the Colorado sun. The aircraft, a testament to human ambition and technological prowess, exuded an aura of quiet confidence. Its massive twin engines, marvels of power and precision, hinted at the incredible force that would soon propel them skyward. Inside the spacious cabin, flight attendants with warm smiles welcomed passengers, guiding them to their seats. As they settled into their seats, adjusting air vents and browsing in-flight magazines, few could have imagined that this seemingly routine flight would soon become anything but ordinary. With a gentle lurch, the Boeing 777 began its slow taxi towards the runway. Outside, the landscape of Denver International Airport unfolded, a tapestry of runways, taxiways, and distant mountains. Inside, the captain's voice, calm and reassuring, crackled through the intercom, welcoming passengers aboard and outlining the flight path ahead. As the plane accelerated down the runway, the roar of the engines swelling to a powerful crescendo, a collective sense of anticipation filled the cabin. The ground fell away, replaced by a breathtaking panorama of the Colorado landscape. Little did they know, in a matter of minutes, their tranquil journey would be shattered, forever etching this seemingly ordinary flight into the annals of aviation history. The initial climb was smooth, a gentle rise above the snow-capped peaks of the Rocky Mountains. Sunlight streamed through the cabin windows, casting a warm glow on the passengers below. Some read books, escaping into fictional worlds. At 10,000 feet, a sudden jarring boom ripped through the tranquility. The cabin shook violently, oxygen masks dropping from their compartments above. Fear, raw and primal, began to creep into the hearts of those on board, replacing the carefree atmosphere of moments before with a chilling premonition of disaster. Looking out the windows, passengers were met with a sight that sent shivers down their spines. The right engine, once a marvel of engineering, was now a raging inferno. Flames licking at the wing danced with a terrifying ferocity, painting the clear blue sky with ominous streaks of black smoke. Pieces of metal, torn from the engine's core, spun away from the aircraft, plummeting towards the earth like deadly missiles. Inside the cabin, chaos reigned. The once distant ground, a patchwork of fields and houses, seemed to be rushing towards them with alarming speed. In the cockpit, the flight crew battled to regain control of the crippled aircraft. Captain Tammie Jo Shults, calm and determined, fought to stabilize the plummeting plane. Warning lights flashed, alarms blared, but Captain Shults' voice remained steady. The first officer worked frantically, relaying vital information to air traffic control. The lives of 241 souls rested on their shoulders. The airwaves, usually alive with the routine chatter of pilots and air traffic controllers, fell eerily silent as Captain Shults reached for the radio microphone. "Mayday, Mayday," her voice, remarkably calm amidst the chaos, cut through the static. "United 328, heavy. We've experienced an engine failure. Need to return immediately." The words, stark and chilling in their simplicity, painted a vivid picture of the unfolding disaster. United 328, a symbol of modern aviation, was now a wounded bird fighting for survival. The urgency in Captain Shults' voice, despite its measured tone, was palpable. A tense silence followed Captain Shults' initial Mayday call, each second stretching into an eternity. The air in the cockpit, thick with the smell of smoke and the bitter tang of fear, seemed to crackle with anticipation. The crew, their eyes glued to the instruments, waited, listened, and prayed for a response. Then, through the static, a voice, calm and professional, broke the silence. "United 328, this is Denver Control. We copy. Say again your request." Captain Shults, her voice betraying the slightest hint of relief, repeated their predicament, outlining their desperate need to return to Denver International Airport. The confirmation from Denver Control, though laced with the seriousness of the situation, served as a beacon of hope in the storm. It meant that help was on its way, that their plight was acknowledged, that they were no longer alone in their struggle for survival. The air traffic controllers, their voices calm and reassuring, sprang into action, clearing airspace and mobilizing emergency services. In that moment of shared crisis, the invisible bonds of professionalism and human compassion bridged the gap between the stricken aircraft and the ground crew working tirelessly to ensure their safe return. Even in the face of unimaginable danger, courage, skill, and a shared commitment to saving lives shone through, offering hope where fear threatened to consume all. The initial shock of the explosion gave way to a chilling realization among the passengers. Their safe passage was no longer a guarantee. Fear, raw and visceral, swept through the cabin. Some passengers, their faces ashen, gripped the armrests, their knuckles white with terror. The air, heavy with the smell of jet fuel and the fear, was punctuated by gasps and sobs. Prayers, whispered in hushed tones, filled the dimly lit cabin. Each jolt of turbulence, every groan of the wounded aircraft, sent shivers down their spines, amplifying their fear and uncertainty. Amidst the panic, a different kind of urgency emerged. Passengers, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of their cell phones, frantically typed messages to loved ones. Wives sent hurried texts to husbands, their words filled with love and a desperate hope that their messages would be received. Husbands reassured wives, their fingers trembling as they typed, clinging to the belief that they would see their families again. Some passengers, unable to articulate their fear in words, recorded video messages, their voices trembling as they spoke into their phone cameras, documenting their love and fear for posterity. In the face of unimaginable terror, the human instinct to connect, to express love and regret, burned brightly. While panic rippled through the cabin, a different scene unfolded in the cockpit. Captain Tammie Jo Shults, her voice a beacon of calm amidst the storm, continued to issue commands, her tone firm yet reassuring. The first officer, his face etched with concern, meticulously followed her instructions, their years of training kicking in as they worked in unison to guide the crippled aircraft back to safety. The flight attendants, their faces betraying the strain of the situation, moved through the cabin with a practiced grace, their smiles a reassuring presence in the face of terror. They calmed frayed nerves, provided comfort to distraught passengers, and ensured that everyone was prepared for the emergency landing. In the heart of the storm, they were the embodiment of courage and compassion, a reassuring presence in the face of unimaginable fear. News of United Flight 328's plight spread like wildfire. Across Denver, people paused their daily routines, their attention glued to television screens and radios. Images of the stricken aircraft, its engine engulfed in flames, filled them with a mixture of horror and dread. At Denver International Airport, emergency crews raced across the tarmac, their flashing lights painting the scene with an eerie urgency. Fire trucks, ambulances, and police vehicles converged on the runway designated for the emergency landing, their crews standing ready, their faces etched with a mixture of anticipation and apprehension. The sight of United Flight 328, its silhouette a stark reminder of the fragility of life, filled them with a mixture of dread and desperate hope. Inside the cabin, Captain Shults' voice, a beacon of calm, prepared the passengers for the emergency landing. Her words, measured and reassuring, belied the gravity of the situation. Flight attendants moved with practiced efficiency, securing loose objects and comforting those overcome with fear. Outside, the Denver skyline loomed larger with each passing moment. Time seemed to warp, each second stretching into an eternity as the plane descended. The Boeing 777, its damaged engine a silent testament to the harrowing journey, touched down with a bone-jarring thud. Gasps and cries of relief filled the cabin. A collective sigh of relief swept through the aircraft. They had made it. Applause erupted, a spontaneous outpouring of gratitude. Outside, emergency vehicles roared to life, their lights painting the tarmac. As soon as United Flight 328 rolled to a stop, the tarmac transformed into a scene of controlled chaos. Emergency personnel rushed to the aircraft, their priority ensuring the safety of the passengers and crew. But as the immediate crisis subsided, the investigation began. Experts from the National Transportation Safety Board arrived, meticulously piecing together the events that led to the near catastrophe. Section 2. The smoking gun, a faulty fan blade. The investigation zeroed in on the mangled remains of the Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engine. The engine, once a marvel, now lay in pieces, a testament to catastrophic failure. After weeks of analysis, the smoking gun emerged, a fractured fan blade. Section 3, Ripples of Change, the aftermath and new regulations. The NTSB's findings sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. A tiny flaw in a critical engine component was the culprit. This revelation sparked immediate action. The FAA issued an emergency airworthiness directive, grounding all Boeing 777s with the Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engine. Airlines scrambled to comply, using a new ultrasonic inspection technique. The chilling Mayday call of United Flight 328, a desperate plea for help from the skies above Colorado, became a symbol of the fragility of life and the resilience of the human spirit. The world watched as the crippled aircraft touched down safely in Denver. A testament to human resilience. Beyond the technical failures, the story of United Flight 328 revealed something profound about the human spirit. In the face of fear, acts of kindness and compassion flickered brightly. Passengers shared messages of love with families far away and clung to hope. The safe return was a victory for the skill of the pilots and the strength of the human spirit. It was a reminder that in our darkest moments, we are capable of extraordinary courage and resilience.